Kritya was actually inspired by Dr. Ayappa Panikar, who is our guide and mentor. We can say that this is a vision of his come true. He has been there throughout, guiding us, um, giving us the right advice. We are all proud to be part of Kritya, and the question that often comes to our mind is what makes an initiative like Kritya tick? There is no doubt that uh, an organization or an initiative of this magnitude requires a great deal of perseverance, hard work, and selfless devotion. Otherwise, this won't work. And we have we are fortunate in having a good team to work for Kritya. But I have to highlight what Dr. Radhi Saxena is doing for this organization, for this initiative. In all my communication with her, I have been, impressed with the way she has always tried to project the best in poetry. And I can say that this again is something Dr. Panikar taught us, because he has always strived to represent or give representation to the best in any art form. And that is why we are following his footsteps and striving to bring in the best poems and art forms around the world. So we are happy that we have representations, or we have a number of poets from different parts of the world. For each edition of Kritya, we managed to bring poets from all over the world. So that is indeed a matter of pride for all working with Kritya. Friends, this edition of Kritya, we have enlightenment as its theme. Now, we hope to highlight the enlightening and uniting aspect of poetry, though some may call it outdated or traditional or whatever. There is an enlightening aspect of poetry. The ability of poetry to edify, to instruct, and bring people together. That cannot be denied. So we wish to focus on that particular aspect of poetry during these 3 days, whether it is the expression of an experience, whether it is some advice you are giving through poetry, whether you are highlighting the sorrows of the world. We think that there is something everyone can learn from whatever a poet is writing. So that is what we hope to hear from you during these 3 days. We'd like to hear from you about your moments of creativity or creative activity, and how you hope your poems will relate to your audience. Please discuss those things with us. And we also hope to have some fruitful discussions on how art can serve a higher constructive purpose on an individual as well as a collective basis. Now, T.S. Eliot said, genuine poetry can communicate before it is understood. And isn't that the higher exalted purpose of poetry? If we agree that with Thomas Gray, that thoughts that breathe and words that burn make a poetry, poetry can surely serve an edifying purpose. It can touch the true or genuine poetry, can touch the hearts of the listeners. There is no doubt about that. Now here, as always, we'll hear the poems in the poet's own language. We'll see their English translations, and we'll also hear the Malayalam renderings. Now, we can say that Theyyam is poetry in motion. It is poetry moving. You can see that when you witness the performance. Now, as for Theyyam, it is a spectacular ancient art form. It has its origins in North Kerala, in Kasargod and Kannur areas. And what distinguishes Theyyam is that it merges color, music, poetry, and ceremonial rituals. Now, the art form is more than 8 centuries old, and these performances showcases the myths and stories of gods, celestial spirits, and heroes in Kerala mythology. Now, there are more than 400 forms of Theyyam. Now, Theyyam is a correct form of the word Daivam, which means God. So, every performer of Theyyam is God, some deity or other in Hindu mythology. The performance has 3 parts. The first stage is the invocation, or it is called the totem part, where the deity is invoked. The second stage involves some ceremonies before the actual manifestation, and third part is the most significant, when the god or goddess the performer is representing actually enters the person, or the person becomes God. So that is how Theyyam is very significant. So I hope that you will attach that seriousness, that amount of divinity for the performance, and that is what the performers expect us to do, because at one stage they actually become the god. They represent the Folklore Academy, Kannur. The main person behind this is C.K. Andi Panikar. He has been honored by chief ministers and governors all over India. He is an Agashwani Doordarshan artist, and he is also guest lecturer at Thrissur Drama School. He is the brain behind this. He is the main person behind this. And he has also performed for Mahatma Gandhi in 1930. It was very well received at that time. Now, the performers here, the people who are performing it here, one is his son, that is C.K. Andi Panikar's son, C.K. Shivadasan. Then the other person who is performing here is Akhilesh. And as I said before, the Theyyams represent one god or other. Now, the first performance by C.K. Shivadasan is Vishnu Murti. You may have seen pictures of Lord Shiva. I hope you have seen. Now, Lord Shiva has that jada, or the hair, tied up in a jada, meaning the hair is in a knot. Now, Bhagavati arises from the jada of Lord Shiva, and there is a purpose for that. She has come to kill the demon Darika, and to cure diseases. And that is something I missed out in the beginning. Now, Theyyams are supposed to be curative. They have the power to heal. So if you have some diseases, the Theyyams are in their, that divine form, they are able to cure the diseases. And these people, these performers have received many awards, state and central level. They have performed outside India, in the Gulf countries, all over India. And another thing we have to understand is, they are coming here, every performance they take after 41 days of strict, they abstain from all alcohol, anything evil. They stay away from all that, and that is what we call Vratam. They observe 41 days Vratam, and after that they come to perform. So that is a brief introduction. I hope you got a general idea of what Theyyam is. The rest, as I said before, it is poetry in motion. So I believe, personally I believe that we can understand. Language is no barrier for understanding real poetry, or something that is genuinely creative will definitely get across to you. It doesn't need language. Thank you, friends. Enjoy your 3 days here, and I hope you all have a good time, and I hope we all have constructive discussions and good relationships. Thank you.
അടിയേരി മുല്ലഞ്ചേരി കാളകാട് കാട്ടുമാടം വെള്ളൂര് മുല്ലപ്പള്ളി കണ്ടിയില് വാളംകുളങ്ങര ഇങ്ങനെ 10 സമ്പ്രദായത്തെ കേൾപ്പാൻ തോറ്റത്തെ ഉരിയാടിപ്പാൻ വിളിച്ചപ്പെടേണം പൊന്നു ഭഗവതി അമ്മേ. Arba!